Hello everyone! So here is a video I promised to do for the fabulous Petra, who does group buys on her Facebook group, which I will share below. And I have been getting these Atwood Efile bits for at least a year now. Now I've got some that I usually use. She sent me a couple that I haven't used before, so that I could do a good review for you. So I've shown 5, I've only used 4 in the review, but the cone that I showed first off, I tend to use going underneath the nail at like infill and things. So I will make sure there's a nice comparison picture at the end of this so that you can see, but I'm just going to start. This is, anyone who follows me through the Glitter Fairy, this is my new fairy, Rebecca Crisp. Look how she turned up at my house. Look at it. So first of all, we're just going to trim the extreme length of her nails down. And this is, I mean, it breaks my heart. That is hand painted. Ugh, her talent is just sickening. Look at it. And I have to cut her face in half in a minute. And I couldn't. I got so worked up about it. So I was like, we'll do the other nails first. So upset. But I thought this is a great chance to do this Efile video. Oh, I've got to do it now. I'm going to do it. I'm going to cut her face off. Oh. But, and then she says, oh, there's a lot of natural nail under there, so it didn't snap straight across. So yeah, I felt horrible. I felt like I was really killing this poor princess. But yeah, so I'm just clipping those nails down. So they're all roughly this. Oh look! I was like screaming at the camera as I did that. So they're all roughly the same length. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use each Efile bit while it's in action, tell you a bit about it, what I thought about it. I put a little timer on as well, so you get an idea of how long it took to do each nail. I will though point out some of these files are brand new, whereas others have been in use for over a month now. And I will point that out with the file bits as I use them. So I'm starting off with the Mean Green. Now this one, I'm not sure I've used before. This one was definitely sent new to me by Petra. This is the gentler one. So if you are new to e-filing, if you have just qualified, then this is the one I would recommend. I'm going to put a disclaimer in now and I'll probably repeat it again. This is in no way me showing you how to use an e-file. Please, if you have an e-file, make sure you're qualified. They are so dangerous in the wrong hands. This is also probably the only time you will ever see me use an e-file on my YouTube channel. These are, I can't remember what they're, are they football shape? That kind of like large cone. With Atwood bits, you need to run them at quite a high RPM. I'm sure when you were training with your e-file, every now and then you might have skipped the file, and so almost what happens is the file skips and goes like under the nail, and it can make like you and your client jump quite a lot. If you do not run Atwood files at the correct RPM, so quite a high speed, they will skip. I found that they last really well, so I get, you know, full busy salon life. I'll get a month or 2 out of each e-file bit, which is really good if you've got full diary. An e-file bit lasting over a month, it impresses me, especially as all of my clients are redesigned, so take it right back down to a thin base and start again. If you're just doing if you're doing a lot of gel over acrylic and things like that, I think the Mean Green would be more than enough for you. As you can see, that acrylic is coming off really nicely. This is no pressure is being applied. You shouldn't, as you know from your basic training, as you're using an e-file, the bit should do the work for you. You should never be pressing down. You're literally just running that bit along that nail. So yeah, so this bit, nice intro to the Atwood family. Yeah, I liked this bit. I would definitely recommend it. I think it took about 2 minutes 50 seconds to get all the acrylic off this nail, which is good. So you'd think, yeah, you'd take about 10-15 minutes to take an entire set down to a clear base, which is about right, because it normally takes, I would allow 20 to 30 minutes to file everything down and do all my natural nail prep, so I'd want my e-file to be able to get everything off within 15 to 20 minutes. So yeah, so this worked really well, but as I said, it's that little bit softer, so it's good if you're just coming in to using Atwood bits. I'll add now as well, obviously, because this is the first time I've actually met my Rebecca, my crispy. All of this acrylic, it's obviously I'm working on nails I've never seen before, so it was all a bit of a surprise as I was taking them down. Yeah, so there you go, that was 2:43, that's a good time. You know, I'll point out as well, I wasn't really rushing to do this, I was just trying to show each e-file bit fairly. So now we're going over to the purple Texas Tornado. And again, football size, shape, size, whatever. Now this one has been in use, I've been using this a couple of weeks now. This is a little stronger than the mean green. So I would say if you've just qualified, the mean green would suit you just fine while you're getting used to Atwood bits. Hi princess. And then the purple, like the Texas Tornado, would be a good step up after. I will add as well, these are my personal opinions, but this is from my experience of the e-file bits. Obviously Atwood may give different recommendations, so you know, look at various reviews, don't just take my word for it, but this is just how I have found these bits. This is the one I have been using myself up until a couple of months ago when I tried a new one, which is the next one that we've shown, and then I switched to that one, and then I found another one, and oh baby, you wait until we get to that thumbnail. Yeah, so this is a little bit stronger. So it's a little bit coarser grit, and I love it. I think they're great. You know, I can get a set of nails filed off within, yeah, about 15 minutes with my purple Texas Tornado. As you can see, that acrylic is flying. Make sure, as your training has informed you, to make sure you get your face mask on and your eye, and your goggle. Sorry, my dog is now going nuts again. She does not like me doing voiceovers the last few days. Sorry, yes. So make sure you've got wearing all the correct PPE, and as you can see, I've got my Twister DT Pro underneath, which is also from Petra, and that makes a real difference to the dust, because as you can see, it is being sucked straight down. And this has, within 2 minutes, as you can see, I'm down to that natural now, that clear base of acrylic. I love these bits because they just eat acrylic, and there's no effort, there's no force or pressure. This is me just running that bit along the nail, and that to me is the sign of a really good e-file bit. I want to just run my bit down the nail and it to take that acrylic off. I don't want to put any effort. I sound terribly lazy, but if you're forcing and pushing at your e-file bit, you need a new one, because it's not how they're designed to be used. And that's often how you'll know when I'm using these bits, if I find they're not taking it off as quickly as I like, and if I find myself putting a little bit of pressure while using, I then think, no, change your bit up. So we're pretty much down to a thin clear base there. So we're about 250. Okay, so we're now at 3 minutes for that nail. Again, this nail was a little longer than the other one, and it has been in use for a good couple of weeks. So compared to a new mean green, if this had been new itself, would have been that little bit quicker. As you can see, it's made such light, easy work of removing that acrylic. In a minute, we're going to go on to my next one. So this would be, I'd say, when you were getting confident with your e-file bit, if you were just doing one colour acrylic with gel polish on, I don't think you'd honestly need more than the mean green, because all you're ever going to be doing is taking off that previous gel polish and doing an infill on the acrylic. So you wouldn't need much more than the mean green, that would be more than sufficient. But if you start experimenting and start doing a bit more encapsulation, you would then move on to something a bit more heavy duty. Now this is the Orange Crush. It's a beast. The first time I used this, I remember messaging Petra and just being like, oh my god. She was like, yeah, but Atwood said it's not meant to be as strong as the Texas Tornado. I personally feel it's much stronger. This is a brand new fresh bit, so obviously the Tornado had been used a bit, but already you can see how quickly that acrylic goes. And again, I'm putting no pressure on. This is all the Efile bit. That is all just eating that acrylic away, and that is why I love these bits. And this is pretty much my go-to bit at the moment. This is the one I use for all of my maintenance, my redesigns, because I can get an entire set off down to a thin clear base, and that's not cutting down the free edge, so that's keeping the free edge out. I will be able to do that easily within about 10 minutes, and then about 10-minute natural nail prep time. So my prep time at maintenance has gone from about 30 minutes to about 20. It's made a real difference. But again, remember, Atwood bits, they need to be run at a very high RPM to avoid that skipping. They are safety bits, so if they do skip, I have never cut my client ever with these bits if they have skipped. But obviously when they skip, that is something that puts clients off having Efile work done, just because it doesn't hurt them, but it's like, oh. Both the client and the tech tend to jump at that point. So there we have it. The Orange Crush is a beast. And this is the 2-stripe one, because they've got quite a few in this range. And again, 150, not even at 2 minutes, and that nail is pretty much ready. There you go. That was at 156, 157. That is why I love the Orange Crush. And then the next one Petra gave me was the Orange Crush Extreme. This is a beast. I remember opening this and just being like, oh my god. It's insane. It is the coarseness. I've never seen anything like it. It is a beast. Look at it. Look at it. You'll also notice I've got those little like yellow or black Efile bit guards. What that does is it stops dust getting down into your machine. So I will really encourage you to use an Efile guard, because it just helps keep your machine in good working order. And here we go, the Extreme. This one I have been using. Petra sent this to me about 3 weeks ago. So this is 3 weeks old, but still is a beast. This one, I'm getting sets off in under 10 minutes. And like for when I'm working on myself, I love it. It's fantastic. I would say obviously it's a very coarse bit. I would encourage this only to be used by people that are quite experienced with Efile. Look at that acrylic come flying off. Love it. So this is something I would say when you've got a decent amount of experience with your Efile and you were doing 4 or 5 sets a day and they were all kind of maintenance where you're redesigning, which is when I'm up to full strength, that's the kind of thing I do. I'm doing large amount of sets every day, all redesigns, and this is the bit for you then. It just ate through that acrylic. Yeah, so that's it really. I'm going to put some images at the end, try and do some comparisons, clean up the bits, and then you can get a comparison of how coarse they all are. I will put full information for Petra Jake's, her group by group, in the description below. This is obviously for English customers, UK customers, or European customers, because Petra is from Germany originally herself. I really hope I got that right, Petra. I'm pretty sure it's Germany. And she does a lot of European group buys, which is where I got my Twisted ET, because that's a German company. So she does a lot of group buys. She's really worth checking out. Obviously, if you're in America, then you can buy direct from Atwood. If you're in England or Europe, give Petra a shout, because I think she's running a group buy at the moment. It's well worth it. I will get 3 or 4 bits at a time, and that will last me until the next group buy that she does. Service is fantastic, you know, I cannot fault her. So yeah, so these are the Atwood bits. I love them. I've used them now for over a year and I can highly recommend them. So thank you very much for tuning in to my video. Again, please don't take this as any kind of lesson in how to use e-files. You must be fully trained and qualified to use these, but I hope this has helped you for all those qualified out there wanting to use some of the best bits on the market. So again, yeah, thanks for tuning in. Any requests, feedback, anything, just pop it all below. Until next time, bye!